So I'm Mia, I'm 20 years old and I've been on the SVY for 6 years now in various positions. So I've been Treasurer, Vice President, and this year I'm lucky enough to be President. And I'm at university at the moment and I'm doing pre-med and Aboriginal health, which I'm loving, and then medicine after, hopefully.
My name is Caitlin and I'm 24. I've been a member of the SVY for nearly 4 years. I just graduated my Master of Architecture at the end of last year and now I'm working as a graduate of architecture and I'm currently the Vice President of the SVY.
Hi, I'm Callum.
And I'm Tiani.
And I joined the SVY first and held out for a good 2 years before she caught up with me.
And we are now a brother and sister duo, starting our 7th year on the SVY. And we're both studying at UWA near the city of Subi. I'm studying physics and mechanical engineering.
And I'm doing maths and finance.
So the Subiaco Voice of Youth, or the SVY as we call it, is a group of 12 to 25-year-olds who live, study or work in the city of Subiaco. We meet bi-monthly to discuss issues facing youth in Subiaco or youth as a whole, and then also to organise events. And then we also just like to give our own voice on anything happening within the council or the city.
At the SVY we try and run it how more senior organisations would be run as well. And I think that's also a good way of teaching our members how those processes work so that they learn that now and take that with them moving forward.
So one thing that I found really valuable about the SVY in particular is this wonderful balance between the sense of autonomy that we're given and this empowerment to do what we feel is necessary and offer our own individual insights and perspectives on issues or events we're planning. But then there's also this wonderful side of support and genuine care where we are able to fulfill that role in of itself, but not feel entirely individual or independent. It's a real collective understanding of the work that we're doing.
I think working in such a diverse group of people as well means that when we do join the workforce in our futures and you don't just have one set age or background, you're going to be prepared for that because it's something similar to what we have in the SVY.
In the SVY, everyone has a different idea and you've got to figure out how you can get one idea that will kind of take a little bit of everything and make it work. And that's especially applicable in the real world because not everyone might agree with you, but you've still got to deliver an outcome with your team at work, for example.
A few of my interests that I've gotten to use and explore as part of the SVY have been my interest and my background in graphic design and sort of the creative aspects. I've been able to design a few of the posters for our events, so I've designed the poster for the last 3 quiz nights. And I also really enjoy photography, so I was the photographer for Race Around Subi last year, and I've also taken photos at a few of our other smaller events.
So one of the times at SVY when I was put out of my comfort zone, and I personally at least think that I actually succeeded, was in one of my first couple of years when I actually hosted the MC role for the luncheon for the volunteers. And I had to get up, you know, my little 13-year-old self in a little tie and speak in front of a room of people who've all been volunteering for 20, 30 years. But yeah, it was good to get myself out there and I started to get comfortable with public speaking and I've grown on that role ever since I joined.
I think for me personally, one of the greatest skills that I've gained from being involved with the SVY for so long is working in quite a professional capacity. I feel like there's not many opportunities for young people to do that, but to have that very high level of involvement within the city of Subiaco itself in that professional environment has been really important.
I think being on the SVY as well, you work with such a diverse group of people which you might not have at school or uni where everyone's a similar age, but on SVY there is a much wider range when you have such a big difference between, say, a 12-year-old and a 25-year-old. So then it really prepares you for your future in work where you'll be dealing with people from all backgrounds and all ages, and it really prepares you for how to work effectively in a team that's different.
I just graduated from my Master of Architecture and have just got my first full-time job, and in the interview process I got to draw on a lot of the skills that I've learned and used as part of the SVY. So for instance, the leadership that I've learned as in my role on the committee, and also my ability to work in teams and with other people and to collaborate on projects.
Something that surprised me the most about the SVY is actually just having my voice heard and that sort of thing. From a classroom perspective, you're one of 30 and that sort of thing, but then going to, you know, a bit of a smaller community about half the size where everyone actually wants to listen to each other, that was pretty nice to be recognised.
I think it's something really special to be chosen as a representative for all the other young people living in the community, and you can go to different people who aren't necessarily on the committee, see what they think, and everyone's voice is really heard.
I would really encourage young people to be part of organisations like the SVY or other youth advisory councils, because I think it's really important for young people to have a voice within their communities, and I think it's important to get involved now and to show that we are interested in the direction that we're heading, both in a local government sense and a broader context.
So if there's anyone out there that's like looking at joining a local youth advisory council, I say definitely apply and give it a go, and try and push yourself a bit to say something and get a bit out of your comfort zone, and you might actually be surprised at how much your voice really gets heard.